Okay, so you're thinking, this OAS thing sounds pretty good, but do I even qualify? Let's break down the eligibility requirements, because this is where things can get a tad tricky. But don't worry, I've got you covered. First things first, age. You generally need to be 65 or older to start collecting OAS. There have been talks in the past about raising the eligibility age. But for now, it's still 65. Phew. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Residency. This is a big one. It is not just about being Canadian. You need to have lived in Canada for a certain number of years after turning 18. If you're living in Canada when you apply, you need at least 10 years of residency after age 18. If you're living outside of Canada, you need 20 years. And what if you're a newcomer to Canada? Don't worry, you might still be eligible. It all depends on things like your immigration status and whether Canada has a social security agreement with your home country. There are special considerations for sponsored immigrants, too. Yep, it can get a little complicated. I remember a friend of mine who moved to Canada in his late 20s. He was so confused about whether he'd ever be eligible for OAS. After digging into the rules, we figured out that he would be. As long as he stayed in Canada until retirement. It was a huge relief for him to know that he'd have that safety net in his golden years.